everyone, how's it going? And welcome to another week of TCG News. As always, before we get started, if you guys are looking for forcible singles or sealed product, including pre-orders for the next set, its Origin as well as its starter decks, be sure to click the link in the description below for Happy Little Hug Factor, where they got all those pre-orders so you can guarantee your product to be safe based on the last set and how all that went. If you pre-order through there with their quantities available, you'll be guaranteed to get your product. And they also have Caster Chronicles singles and sealed product as well. Just make sure you click that link in the description below and then purchase your product after clicking that link so they know we sent you over. And also buy Play DKP accessories with their magnetic playmat so you can play your card games on the go, in the car, outside while it's windy, at your locals without stuff sliding around, all that type of stuff. So click that link in the description below and use code TCG for 5% off your order. So we got quite a bit to go over this week actually, so we'll jump right into it. First thing, as you guys know, we're in the middle of spoiler season right now, and the first thing that we've noticed is there's been no green spoilers. Oscar's been keeping track of all the cards on this Excel file he has, and with the order numbers, the colors, rarity, all that type of stuff, and based on his Excel file, it looks like that most likely there's not going to be green cards inside of this set, which is very interesting. It kind of makes sense when you think about it because it's a smaller set. They have a limited amount of cards to put in there, especially with the amount of reprints and stuff they have in there. So they, since there's no green rulers out of the 3 rulers that are coming out in this set, they're going to just take that out and wait for maybe the next set when there'll be a green-based ruler, and then they'll introduce all that green support. So it does suck a little bit, especially if you say are running a green deck or down the line for the future sets, one of the other colors that are excluded. You basically just go an entire set without an entire color identity for your deck, which can be a little bit annoying, but we'll see. It could be played out pretty well and might not be noticed really by anyone. So yeah, but just thought that was kind of interesting. There'll probably be green in the memorial cards, but we still don't know the legality of those, so it might not be really that relevant at all. Speaking of new reprints, if you guys have been following spoilers, even more reprints have come out that these are in the normal rarity slot with the set number, so these are all legal. And we've already talked about this before, but some notable ones that I just want to mention real quick was that Thunder is being reprinted, Rook Egg is being reprinted, and a lot of Alicera support is being reprinted, which is just sort of an easy way to shortcut support for the mechanic being brought back in of removing cards from the game, which makes a lot of sense. If you guys want to hear our full thoughts on those reprints and as well as the normal spoilers, just keep an eye out for our spoiler video for Force of Will, which should be coming out maybe tomorrow if it's not out already. But just keep an eye out on the channel when we go over all the last week's releases of English spoilers. Next up, we got more stuff on Vite Ramen again. So if you guys missed it, the Vite Ramen Circuit Series is basically officially in full swing. So make sure you're checking your surrounding areas and locals to see if anyone there is going to be hosting the Vite Ramen tournament. And like this past weekend, Oscar and I actually went over to Dallas and participated in the Vite Ramen tournament there, which was a lot of fun. You can check out actually, if you go to the article version of this week's news, which has a link in the description below. There's a link that'll take you over to the Facebook post that has the top 8 deck lists in the Gotcha log form, if you guys are curious how that went over there. But yeah, if you guys haven't already, make sure you LGS maybe checks to see, or someone you know checks to see if they can get some Vite Ramen products still for the Circuit Series, but also just keep an eye out for anyone that's already hosting it. Next, over on the, I think it was Italian page, we got our first look at the booster box. So it was just this quick video where they had the booster box and one was open and one was closed. Besides what the booster box itself is, which actually looks kind of cool. I like the way they did the art wrapping around the entire box. But one notable thing that I noticed while watching the video was that there was no mini cardboard box, I guess is what you'd say. Whatever that mini box is inside that houses all of the basic magic stones, the draft rulers, and the promo card. So I didn't see that in there. Oscar didn't either. Which led me to believe that it's just not going to be in there. Now, the person filming the video could have pulled it out of the box beforehand, or it's under all of the packs at the very bottom of the box, so we obviously don't know for sure. But it would stand to reason that maybe to cut costs, they just won't include that, since there's basic magic stones, around every nook and cranny of most people's rooms and stuff like that. So those aren't too big of a deal. I wouldn't be too sad if those are gone. I mean, I'd be a little bit sad, but not too bad. The downside would be is if they decide to take those basic magic stones and insert them into the packs, which I don't think anybody would like that. Everyone really preferred when they got rid of those. And inserting them packs not only is annoying, but it also takes up a slot in an already hard to pull cards in a type of set. So that would be a little bit annoying. So I'm hoping it's just if the magic stones aren't in the set, that it's just, they're just not in it in general. The more concerning thing for me was the lack of draft rulers. So if draft rulers aren't inside the booster box, and once again, if they're trying to cut costs, okay, that's fine. Once again, I'm a little bit bummed out, but it could be understandable as long as those draft rulers are included in, like, say, the pre-release kits, and with a decent quantity, at least more than usually is included in the pre-release kits. If not, it's going to lead to a lot of difficulties, especially at pre-release and draft tournaments, because you can't really use the previous draft rulers, or you could, but they're pretty useless because they use, whether it be gems or some sort of specific things for rulers, or they use the different rune counts and stuff like that, isn't very useful. And it'll make it so that you also are dead drawing cards during pre-release and draft, because you have no way to make a stranger deck without the stranger (10) or whatever that are on the new rulers, and the rulers are not inside booster packs, so you can't pull the new rulers and use those for drafting like we did in the old days. They're inside of the star decks, and there's the one promo, which I doubt they'll give enough promos for people to play with. So I'm hoping that the draft rulers are still around and they're just not in the booster box, but yeah, it's just one thing to sort of keep in mind there. Next up, this will probably be the last time I talk about it, but I've talked about it a couple of times, but it looks like we probably won't be getting a reprint of Decisive Battle of Valhalla. This was something I had talked about a while ago, that a distributor had said that reprints of DBV were coming out, and I got really excited and praised the company for not only reprinting it, but doing it so quickly, especially after the fiasco that it had. But given the amount of time that's been since we heard that, and since there's been no word from distributors, I think it's safe to say now that we aren't getting that reprint, unfortunately, or if we are, it's region specific to whoever had posted that. So that's a bit unfortunate, especially because of the big, all the big mess up that was DBV, where a lot of people weren't getting product, people weren't getting pre-ordered product, different things like that. And on top of the set just being a lower quantity sent out than usual. On top of the set, when you do open it, having a very low likelihood of pulling certain cards. So this could change, and we'll keep you guys updated if something comes up, but as of right now, unfortunately, it looks like we won't be getting a reprint of that. And we won't be able to really confirm any of this with the company or communicate our concerns about it with them, since, they don't really communicate based on the most recent thing, or semi-recent thing, which was the big Q&A that was held on Facebook. We officially just passed the 4-month anniversary of that Q&A happening, and then never hearing back from the company ever again. And we are about to hit, I think we're a week away, or less than a week away, from the 3-month anniversary of us being told the company does in fact have questions in hand, and they have their response, they're just waiting to post it. And that was 3 months ago. So I think it's safe to say that they are not responding. And this is, and like I've mentioned before, this is the fourth confirmed time that the company has promised to do a public statement or response and has not done it. So that's just something to keep in mind, that unfortunately with the news, with Force of Will related news, a lot of it going forward is just speculation until it's fully confirmed, like say when a set releases, which is not the preferred route, but without any type of communication with the company period at all, this is sort of where we're at. On a bit more exciting news, a new game from EG is getting close to coming out. So we had talked about this a while ago, about this game coming out, and if you guys don't know, EG is the former CEO of Force of Will and the creator of Force of Will before he was kicked out. But there is a Facebook page for it, and the title of the game with the logo, as you can see there, is Alternate Souls Arena Card Game. If any of you guys know what an arena card game is, please let us know below, because I'm be very curious. There's speculation it could be related to the game that EG had been wanting to make for a long time, which involved like figurines on a board and stuff like that, which would be super cool. Don't want to get anyone's hopes up or down, depending on what your preference is, so we'll wait and see what the announcement is. EG is personally doing daily posts about Force of Will and his past, joys of doing different things of it every day, sort of leading up to a big announcement, which should be coming maybe even today or tomorrow or something like that. We'll probably do a separate video once that is formally announced. But I'm extremely excited for this, and we'll be sure to be covering whatever game is going forward on this channel, so you guys can look forward to that. Next up, we got some stuff regarding Flesh and Blood. So if you guys don't know, Flesh and Blood is a newer TCG that has recently come out and has a tournament structure going on right now. Oscar came across it and really liked the look and the idea behind it, and so he sort of has been following it. We actually were sent product from the company that we will be displaying on the channel relatively soon. We were going to display it sooner, but some scheduling stuff came up. But we have a whole bunch of product both for box openings and gameplay and all that type of coverage, so look forward to that. If you're at all curious about this game, I'd recommend going and checking it out because it is very interesting. One of the big appeals of it right now is its tournament. So it just concluded its very first 10K tournament over in Auckland. You can read the full breakdown of that tournament and results over on their website. I've linked to it on the article version of this news as well. 69 people showed up to the tournament, and yeah. There is another tournament coming up. These are called The Calling, by the way, in Austin, right next to us. So Oscar and I will probably be attending that when that comes up. It's pretty cool because it's a sealed tournament, so you just show up, pay the entry fee, you get your packs or however it works, and you make your deck and go. This first set, at least, is very heavily designed around sealed. It makes it really easy to build decks. So it's really interesting. In first place at this 10K tournament gets $5,000 of that 10K, so it could be pretty exciting. But we'll keep covering that here on the channel off and on, so let us know what you guys think of that. And yeah. Lastly, we got some more Godzilla Chrono Clash stuff. So this is more of our channel related stuff, and that is, well, one, we're planning on doing gameplay, but for that same reason, this is Flesh and Blood, just some stuff came up, so we weren't able to film it. But in the meantime, I do have my lore video coming out this week, so actually just in time for the 65th anniversary of Godzilla. This video goes over each individual card and its relevance to the Godzilla lore, so if you guys are maybe getting into Chrono Clash and don't know too much about it, it's a way to sort of get up to date with that stuff. Or if you're already a fan of Godzilla, it just is a lot of hype stuff and cool little tidbits maybe you know or don't know. I've been working pretty hard on it, and I'm really excited about it. There'll be 4 videos total for each of the Godzilla airs, so if you guys could watch that and share it around when it comes out, that would be super awesome. We'll also have another cool opening for Godzilla related stuff on Chrono Clash. This one's not an opening of the set itself, but it's adjacent to it. It should be really cool and unique. Once again, we're supposed to film that already, but had some problems with the post office, so that should be coming out hopefully next week. So something else to look forward to there. But that's all the news for this week. Hope you guys enjoy that. If I missed anything, let me know below. Have a happy Halloween, and we'll see you guys next week.